7th will be a big day for candidates when voters head to the primaries. In Missouri, voters will decide on several state races, including candidates in the races for governor, state attorney general, secretary of state, treasurer, and lieutenant governor. Chris Hernandez is here now with a look at the top contenders in the lieutenant governor's race. Chris?
Yeah, a new line of attack in this Republican primary race involves a well-known local company. The current lieutenant governor, Peter Kinder, is trying to fend off a challenge from State Senator Brad Lager. This year, Kinder dropped his attempt to run for governor, and he now wants a third term as second in charge.
You know what?
State Senator Brad Lager is from Savannah, near St. Joe. He's challenging the two-term incumbent lieutenant governor.
So if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. So if we're going to change the direction of our state, we've got to change the leaders in our state.
Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder dropped plans to run for governor after revelations of questionable travel expenses and a friendship with a former penthouse pet. He says that was 20 years ago. She said this picture was taken about a year and a half ago.
At the time, I was a single man and I made a mistake, and I've owned up to it. I didn't mislead anyone.
Lager works part-time at Cerner, a well-known Kansas City company. Kinder questions Lager's ties to Cerner since he says he's a small businessman.
It is a problem if Senator Lager has been lobbying for Cerner and not disclosing that he's a lobbyist.
I have never lobbied. I am not a lobbyist. I have never been a lobbyist, and that is nothing more than a Peter Kinder created lie.
Despite the Supreme Court ruling upholding the Affordable Health Care Act, both candidates are fighting implementation in Missouri. Kinder has filed a lawsuit.
The remedy has to be repeal at the federal level and resistance at the state level that includes my lawsuit.
Lager is calling for a special session, but that appears doubtful.
The legislature in Missouri needs to be decisive. I believe that we need to give the federal government a clear statement that we are not going to expand Medicaid in Missouri.
The candidates are fighting to claim the mantle of the true conservative in this race. Now, Kinder and Lager have about the same amount of cash on hand for the rest of the race, just over $1 million. Mike Carter and Charles Coleman are also on the Republican ballot, but are not raising money or campaigning statewide. We'll take a look at the Democrats running for lieutenant governor next week. Chris Hernandez, 41 Action News.